From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Breaking news to report tonight. A guilty verdict was handed down for a North Pole man accused of sexually abusing 3 minors. Alan Hughes was found guilty on 13 of more than 20 charges he faced in connection to the repeated sexual abuse of 3 children. The verdict was decided late this afternoon after a full day of deliberation by the 12-person jury panel. Hughes originally faced 27 felonies. 5 of those were dropped prior to deliberation. According to prosecutors, Hughes sexually abused 2 girls for years and even forced them to perform sexual acts with another young boy. During testimony, they alleged the abuse happened so many times it became part of their daily routine. Hughes was even accused of forcing them to have sex to get game consoles that were previously taken away from the children. Hughes could face up to 99 years in prison for his conviction. Another hearing in the case is scheduled for next week. A contingent of Alaska firefighters head for the lower 48 to help crews battling fires in the northwest portion of the state. In Montana alone, 8 major fires are burning under red flag warnings. Just before 9 this morning, 5 Alaska firefighting crews consisting of roughly 135 men and women left from the BLM Alaska Fire Service base on Fort Wainwright. They were headed to the Northern Rockies Coordination Center in Missoula for possible deployment to 5 different states. Alaska Forestry's Chevek number 1 crew joined the Fort Yukon number 1 and 2 teams, as well as crews from St. Michael and Caltag. There are already 143 Alaska-based firefighters aiding suppression efforts in western states, with more crews possibly departing next week. Xavier Machen fought fires in California last summer, and he's again prepared to represent his state.
Show them that we just kick butt down there and show them we're Alaskans. Show them how hard we work, go down and represent Alaska, do our job, come back home safe, come back home to family. It'll take a few days to adjust, but I'm pretty sure we can handle it.
Village public safety officers have called off the search for a man who has been missing in the Chena River for almost 2 weeks now. Officials with the Tanana Chiefs Conference say the VPSOs did an extensive search for 11 days and were unable to find the body of 30-year-old Tyler Culver. Many different agencies were involved in the search, including FPD, Fort Wainwright Fire, and Fairbanks Fire Department. But none of the search methods turned up Culver's body. Culver reportedly jumped off the Centennial Footbridge on August 2nd with another man. Culver never surfaced. The community is still continuing on in the hopes of finding his body.
VPSOs have pulled out of the official TCC part of the search, so we're just all volunteer driven, all volunteer based.
I was shocked to see actually how many people were coming out. People that were strangers, didn't know us, didn't know him, but they're like, we want to help. So I was shocked, but also really touched by all the compassion that these people have for us.
We have a few boats that go all the way down to the mouth and come back, just kind of idle back, looking everywhere. Today we're kind of searching between the Pegger Bridge and the University Bridge.
Gas is provided for those who show up to aid in the recovery mission with boats. Culver's family members have also set up a donation page to help assist in the costs of the recovery. We have a link provided to that on our website, webcenter11.com. School is just around the corner, and teachers were greeted at the door with cheers during the Fairbanks North Star Borough School District In-Service Day. Early this morning, teachers filed into the Herring Auditorium at Lathrop High School for their first day of training and orientation sessions. Members of the Greater Fairbanks Chamber of Commerce Education Committee greeted teachers with cheers of support and signs welcoming them back to another school year. Since the 1990s, the Education Committee used the annual positive picketing event to make new and returning teachers feel welcome while thanking them for their contribution to education. The event has been well received throughout the years as it reminds educators that their work is valued in our community. Spruce Tree Montessori Director Sabrina Binkley says positive picketing demonstrates commitment in promoting a quality education system.
Our annual Positive Picketing event is sponsored and supported by the Chamber's Education Committee, and we're here today to remind the district teachers that the community is behind them and that their work is valued, and we're wishing them a great year this year.
All right, when we come back, the governor has nominated an Alaskan woman to be the face on the new $10 bill that will be changed in 2020. Also, it's another gardening tip to help you with your broccoli, and we'll join Mike Schultz at the fair to find out what events are planned for the last weekend. These stories and more when we come back. And welcome back. Governor Bill Walker has sent a letter to U.S. Treasury Secretary Jacob Lew nominating Elizabeth Parachovich to be on the new $10 bill. The face of the note, which currently features Alexander Hamilton, is expected to be redesigned and in circulation by 2020. Nominees for the spot on the $10 denomination are all women. Parachovich is already up against Harriet Tubman and Eleanor Roosevelt. But you can weigh in on who you think should get the spot by participating in the U.S. Treasury Department's public comment period or tweeting with your choice with the new hashtag #TheNew10. Press Secretary for Governor Walker, Katie Marquette, says Parachovich's impassioned stand for civil rights and work on the 1945 Territorial Anti-Discrimination Act made her a perfect fit for the bill.
Her work on civil rights issues in Alaska is largely attributed as the driving force in that bill passing. Almost 20 years before the civil rights movement in the lower 48 and the passage of the Civil Rights Act in 1964. So Elizabeth Parachovich in the state of Alaska were really leaders in the civil rights movement.
As the growing season begins to wind down, there is one vegetable that's ready for picking. Tonight's segment of Gardening Tips is on how to care for your broccoli.
Hi, my name is Emily Schubert, and I'm here at Calypso Farm for this summer in their farmer training program. And I'm here to talk to you today about open pollinated varieties of broccoli. Here we have a variety called Early Green, and down on the row we have another variety called Solstice, and they're a great option for home gardeners to grow because they taste 5 times better than normal broccoli, if you ask me. They put out these beautiful flowers that you can eat and actually taste quite good. And they shoot up stalks throughout the entire season, so instead of getting one big round head, you have broccoli kind of as you want to eat it throughout the entire season. Because they're open pollinated varieties, they actually produce their own seed, which you can collect to have to grow for years to come, so you don't have to buy new seed each year. And the germination is a little different than normal broccoli. Sometimes it's a little more sporadic, but then once they get going, they shoot up all season and you can eat as much as you want. These varieties grow really well with a mixture of sun and shade. They don't like too much heat because they get a little wilty. They like about your normal amount of water, but they need to be spaced probably about 15 inches apart or so to really have enough room to grow up big and strong.
Gardening Tips, brought to you by Fairbanks Stump Grinders and by Midnight Sun Family Medicine.
Interesting. All right, it's time once again to go out to the Tanana Valley State Fair with Mr. Schultz. Tonight, Mike will be giving us an insight into what exciting events are planned for this weekend. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Stephanie, we're pleased to be here once again with Isaac Paris, who is the head honcho for the entertainment here. He's the guy that picks out all the entertainment and makes sure everything runs right. Everything's doing pretty good right now, isn't it?
Yeah, we've had fantastic performances, and we just have more for the next 3 days.
Well, let's go ahead and tell the folks, give them an idea of a little bit of a nutshell. What's happening?
Well, most of the performers are locals, but I'm especially excited about Scotty and Trink, who are comedy jugglers who have been here 4 times, and they juggle and tell hilarious jokes, juggling fire. We also have a magician named Steve the Pretty Good. You may have seen him floating around on his flying carpet.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And there's a ska band who's come all the way from Portland, Oregon to play for us, and they'll be here tonight at 8 and tomorrow afternoon and evening as well.
Now we have some competition going on tomorrow, right?
Oh yeah, tomorrow also there is a talent show called Fairbanks Has Talent where competitors can show off what they've got and potentially win money, and there is a guitar riff competition where guitarists could win a guitar, and those are both Saturday night.
That one sounds really interesting.
Yeah, it's sponsored by Grassroots Guitar, and they're giving away a really nice Godin guitar.
Okay, we're going to wrap everything up tomorrow night with the fireworks.
Yes, Saturday night there's fireworks at 11, but then there's another Sunday bonus day to the fair, and there's lots more fun things planned for that as well. It'll be great.
And you couldn't ask for better weather either.
No, the weather is fantastic, and the delicious smells of the food from the vendors is wafting our way right now.
Well, thanks a lot, Isaac, for being with us. And speaking of weather, we'll be talking about that a little bit later on. Back to you, Stephanie.
Thanks, Mike. I think I need to go check out the funnel cakes there. I have to finally break down and do it. All right, up next in sports, Joe Cook brings us inside the Patty Center. It's got a new look for this upcoming season. Also a special story on 2 bowlers who prove age does not matter. Those stories and more after the break.
Welcome back, Interior Alaska, TGIF. Joe Cook here with your local Friday Sportscast. This summer, the UAF Patty Center underwent a few renovations, and there will be a fresh look this fall. Last week, the basketball court in the Patty Center was named Alaska Airlines Court. There is a new paint design on the floor and a snazzy new entrance outside the Patty Center. It took 6 weeks to complete the new floor. Alaska Airlines bought the naming rights as a part of a 5-year sponsorship agreement. The airline will also give over $62,000 towards scholarships and provide $265,000 in travel. The UAF volleyball team will be the first Nanack team to take flight, if you will, on the new court with practice this Monday. If you remember, new seating was installed 2 summers ago. More upgrades could be on the way.
The plan is developed with from Sport Plan, a company in Kansas City that we've been working with for the last couple of years. So as funding allows, that's a 5-stage plan that renovates this whole building. It's new locker rooms, it's new everything. So it renovates this whole building.
From there, went with some different paint schemes, a 3-foot border to 6 feet in the back, and just made it give more of a college type court feel. Some of the color schemes there and things like that. I mean, just wanted to keep that brand, that Nanack brand and image there, and have that represented in our floor.
And here's another heads up on another fall sport. The Interior High School flag football season starts next Friday. Last year was the very first season of flag football in the Interior. Lathrop Malamutes, they won the first game of that inaugural season, but West Valley, they won the first season title, finishing with an 8-1 record. The Wolfpack will try to make it 2 titles in 2 seasons, but they'll have to go through Lathrop, Hutchinson, and North Pole to do it. Flag football will begin its 2nd season in the Interior with the kickoff jamboree next Friday at 6 p.m. on the turf fields. The first game of the season features West Valley versus Lathrop on those turf fields Wednesday night, September 2nd. And here's a rundown of some exciting sports events for this weekend. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. is the 15th Granite Tours Run. The 15-mile run is the 6th event in the Trail Series, and it starts at milepost 39 on Chena Hot Springs Road. There's Saturday afternoon football on Kiwanis Field behind the Big Dipper. Monroe hosts Seward, and their season opener at 1 o'clock. Then at 2 p.m. on Saturday is the 11th Demolition Derby. The Mitchell Raceway, hosted by the Fairbanks Demo Derby. Trucks and cars will collide and compete for a $10,000 purse. There will also be a giveaway of 50 bikes for the kids. We leave you tonight with a story coming from the Alaska International Senior Games. 2 bowlers show us how good it is to be young at heart. Here's more. Inside the Arctic Bowl bowling alley, 2 bowlers are putting on a show. A spare here and a spare there, and they're rolling. The Alaska International Senior Games had mixed doubles bowling in their final night of competition. Betty Upright and John McGessie went head-to-head with their partners. Miss Upright has seniority at AISG. She's 100 years old.
The good Lord let me, so I can still drive, thank goodness, and read and talk, and it's all good. I enjoy participating with them because they're usually in a good mood and it's good fun, good people.
McGessie is the oldest man at the lanes. He's 83 years old and enjoys every minute of this friendly competition.
Oh, she's fun. We have a good time. This league, everybody enjoys it. We've got nobody down here after blood.
These 2 seniors are admired by their fellow bowlers. They even motivate those hoping to one day be like them. Retired Daily News minor sports editor Bob Ely partnered with both of them, John in men's doubles and Betty in mixed doubles.
It's totally inspirational to see them both be out here and still be able to bowl and to be able to do things, and I just hope and pray that I can, do the things at their age that they're able to do right now.
It's wonderful. They're my heroes. I want to be able to do that when I'm 100.
Miss Upright and Mr. McGessie show us that it's not all about winning and losing. Just being able to be active in sports, no matter your age, is a victory in of itself. Joe Cook reported. And that's it for sports right now. But come back tonight for the Sports Nightcap. We'll have Friday night highlights right here at Channel 11 for high school football. Mike Schultz is next with your weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Shenandoah Valley State Fair. Mike Schultz with you once again on a beautiful, beautiful evening. There's no excuses for not coming out. A big thank you to all of our sponsors we've had this weekend, especially tonight to Stanley Nissan. And a bigger thank you to my engineer, Jacob Pett, who I could not do this without his help. His picture has been incredible each night, so a big thank you to him. Let's talk about our photograph night. This is a great photograph. This one was sent in by Roy Machadary, I think his name is, and it's a picture of a mama moose and a baby moose in the water. And the only thing it's missing is a life vest, right? Okay, here's our numbers right now. 63 degrees the high today, the low last night 45, the record high 89 in 1926, the record low 27 in 1924. Your sunrise and sunset working out to about 16 hours and 41 minutes, a loss of 7 minutes from yesterday. On the satellite and radar, a lot of moisture moving in from the southwest. That's our next omen of weather to be coming in probably by Sunday night, the way it looks right now. That'll be changing things around considerably. We'll tell you more about that later on. As far as going on to the big state picture, here's what it looks like over southeast Alaska. 70 degrees in Ketchikan today. Raining all day long in the Anchorage Bowl, 70 degrees. Also rained around Kodiak, 59. And a little cooler at Colby with some showers, 52. Up and down the west coast, Bethel at 54. The same for Nome. Across the Brooks Range, 48 at Barrow. And Fort Yukon checking in with 61 and just partly cloudy skies. To the lower 48 we go, and we're going to be talking again about hot temperatures down there. As you can see here, we're looking at temperatures at 117 degrees at Phoenix, 101 in Las Vegas, and not quite 100 degrees in Dallas, but really hot for Billings, Salt Lake City, and Denver, even Minneapolis getting into the picture. 90-degree temperatures for Chicago and St. Louis. Not quite 90 degrees in New York and Washington, D.C., and still very hot, humid, and showery over the southeastern portion of the country. So very hot and humid conditions. On our satellite picture tonight, a little bit of activity moving across the eastern half of the country, but the main energy is over the western half, where we're getting afternoon showers and thunderstorms developing. They're all circulating around that area of high pressure sitting across the central portion of the country. That's what's helping to bring the hot temperatures in. And speaking of hot temperatures, today and tomorrow, 6 to 12 degrees above normals for many of the areas of southwest with isolated thunderstorms and, unfortunately, an increased fire danger because of the hot temperatures. Not a good sign. The jet stream is expected to drop a little further down to the south next week, which means the hot air will be pushing back down to the south also. Just thunderstorms around the deep south and hot temperatures continuing over the southern and southwestern sections of the country. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow, cloudy skies at Barrow. Rain is likely in Nome and mostly sunny skies for Fort Yukon with temperatures near 70 degrees. Here in the interior, plenty of sunshine for Fairbanks and Healy, and scattered clouds at Delta Junction with very nice temperatures. Over southeast Alaska, once again, sunny skies for Juneau and mostly sunny skies for Ketchikan. The worst weather will probably be over the southwest part of the state. As you can see here, we're looking at rain for Cold Bay and Kodiak with showers likely at Bethel and temperatures really struggling to get to 60 degrees. Wow, that's really uncomfortable. Over the south central sections, periods of rain at Anchorage and Homer and cloudy skies in Valdez. Now I got a surprise for you. Not a very happy surprise, but the Weather Service is saying there possible frost in lowest areas tonight. As the sky is clear, there is a possibility that places like Goldstream Valley and Badger Slough could see some frost, but other areas should be fine, so don't get too panicky right now, but just keep it in mind that it could happen. So our forecast for tonight, a beautiful evening, but considerably cooler. 44 degrees for the overnight low, like I said, colder in the low-lying areas. Tomorrow, look at that, lots of sunshine, warmer and perfect for fireworks for tomorrow night, 74 degrees. And the extended forecast right on through the next week, temperatures cooling down to the low 60s by Wednesday and Thursday, and overnight lows also dropping down to low 40s by Wednesday and Thursday. So this is a great evening. There are no excuses not to come out tonight. All types of things going on. Of course, the smells are wonderful and a lot of entertainment, as you heard earlier. So have a great weekend, everyone. Back to you, Stephanie.
Thanks, Mike. And we're out of time. That'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We're glad you could join us tonight on NBC Nightly News. Today, the Stars and Stripes flew over the U.S. Embassy in Havana, Cuba after 54 years. That's next with Lester Holt. And of course, you can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com. And from all of us here at the News Center, we hope you have a great weekend.